Country roads take me home to the place I belong.
West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia.
Ready? What's real, West Virginia?
That's right, you ready? This is Tuesday Taylor and Miss Talented Tiffany Finkton, and we are What's Real West Virginia. And I want to welcome you to today's episode. We're going to interview a fabulous young lady who is from Indiana, but has been living in West Virginia for the past, I think, 8 years?
6 years,
6 years, so she's an adopted West Virginian. After 5 years, you're one of us. So welcome to today's episode, and we have a great treat. I've known this young woman for a few years now, and she's going to tell us about herself. So, Miss Finkton, how'd you come up with the name Talented?
It was a dance competition. I did it about 7 years ago, and all I wrote down was Miss T, standing for Miss Tiffany. I just wrote down Miss T. And the girl, when she got on stage and announced me, she was like, I don't know what T stands for, but she was like, she's talented. So she was like, we're going to call her Miss Talented for today. And then I just kind of ran with it since then. That happened in Indiana, so.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that about you. That's really fun. I've never
ran into it.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
So what part of Indiana did you grow up in?
Indianapolis, the actual city. Yeah.
So that's like a big city. That's like city.
Right in the city, going to public school, and then I switched over in high school and started going to Warren Township. It was a place there.
Okay.
Kind of like a suburb.
Okay, and what got you into music?
I've always been into music. My mom kind of forced me to be in the choir as a kid because she was a choir director. So I kind of got forced to sing, and I got forced to do it. And my way out of that was actually playing the drums. So that's when I kind of went over to start making beats and kind of rapping on my drums. Yeah, my first thing I ever recorded was on a cassette player. I stole it out of my parents' room, and then I got in trouble because I recorded over one of my mom's gospel CDs. Gospel back then it was cassette tapes, so I recorded over one of her cassette tapes. So she got in the car to play her cassette tape, and all of a sudden you hear me playing the drums and rapping about some nonsense, so she was kind of mad about that. So that's kind of how I fell into it.
But that's actually a very endearing story because now look at what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I met you at West Virginia State University. So how did you end up at West Virginia State University?
Basketball. I went on a Division I scholarship at IUPUI in Indianapolis, and then I was going to go to Wright State and sit out a year. And then I was just like, I don't want to sit out a year. And then the coach, some kind of way, a coach had found me and my friend, and they were like, you know, they take us both and still cover our schooling. So that's kind of how I came out here.
So when you first came to West Virginia, what did you think of this place?
I was sick. Yeah, I was sick. It wasn't just homesick. I was just sick. I was claustrophobic. I couldn't see out, so it made me really sick. Like the first month or so I was here, I was really sick.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, I was really, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't so much homesick, but at home, I'm not saying that you can look out and see, you know, downtown from where I live, but if you are close to downtown, you can look out and see downtown. You know, there is no, well, that mountain's blocking what's over it, you know, so it kind of makes you feel like you're in this, like my friend, she calls it the cereal bowl here, where at home it's French toast. So,
oh, okay.
It's like a cereal bowl. You're in a bowl, you can't see out, you can't see around you. You know, I always say, well, if something were to happen when I'm driving, like, on the interstate, you got to pick which mountain you're going to want to run over and want to climb. Where at home, you got cornfields, you can see what's out, what's on the other side of the mountain. Here it's like, what's on the other side. You know?
See, what's really funny to me as a West Virginian, that's scary to me.
Going to flatland.
Going to flat, I'm like, where am I going to hide? Because to us, we're like, these mountains protect us. We can hide in these mountains. That's really funny. What do you think about all the mountains? Like, what was your first thought when you came into the state and just seeing all these mountains?
I think it's beautiful, honestly. You know, even when my parents come down, they're like, it's beautiful. You know, because that's another thing that was a struggle with me when I first came. It was so quiet. And I was just not used to it being quiet. I was like, everything's just too quiet. Like, my first couple years, my first like think it was my second year state was when the chemical plant exploded. So that was the most noise. Yeah, that was the most noise I ever heard, like, since I had been here. And I was on campus when that happened.
Yeah.
So everybody's like running and crazy. That was one of my first experiences where I was like, oh my God, I need to get out. But
what do you think of the people here?
I love the people. Like I said, I mean, everywhere you go, there's always going to be, you know, good people, bad people. But as an overall effect, I think I've met some really, really, really good people here that have. And everybody always talks about, you know, they want to go to the big city. Well, honestly, the city is not as friendly. You know, my own parents say it. When they come here, everybody says hi. When you're walking down the street at home, if somebody walk down the street and say hi, you might not get a hi back. Yeah. But here it's like, hi, hi, hi. Like, everybody's just hiing down the street, so it's kind of weird to them, too, when they come. They're like, everybody says hi. It's weird.
So what is one stereotype that, if you would hear about West Virginia, that you think is not true about us?
What's one stereotype?
My favorite is that we don't have teeth. Like, a lot of people believe we don't have teeth. I had teeth, see? I had good teeth.
Good teeth. Country. I think some of it's country, but hey, some of Indiana's country. So
everywhere's got it.
Everywhere's got it. But then I think you have a core, even now, one thing I do hear all the time is how boring and there's nothing to do here. When honestly, sometimes I have felt that way, but what my view on whether or not there's something to do here is it's the people. You know, people have events, and if you don't support the events, then you can't say there's nothing to do here. Because people have a lot of stuff going on, and if you choose to just not support it and sit at home, then that's the difference in the city. They'll have an event, people show up. The people make that event, you know?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because you are having an event on April the 30th.
Yes.
That I'm super excited about because you have entitled it Dopetry.
Yes.
To those West Virginians who don't know, Dopetry is a group that Tiffany put together at West Virginia State University, and I was one of the poets in the group, and it was the very first time I've ever been recorded, I've ever been videotaped for my poetry. So won't you tell us about this event, Dopetry? What's going on with this?
Okay, well, Dopetry is actually my first solo event. You know, I'm always in other people's events and other people's open mics. I wanted to make my first one very, very special. And when I came up with the idea of Dopetry, that's what it was. It was, you know, there's artists of all structures. I wanted poets to be able to come in. I remember when I pitched it to you, I was like, I want poets to be able to come in and be a part of like a project, just like a rapper. And because my roots go back to poetry. You know, before, I used to write poetry before I actually moved it over to putting it to a beat and calling it rap.
Okay, stop. So, listen to me, young people. Could you please repeat yourself one more time?
I started with poetry because the thing about it is, which I think a lot of artists have an edge. Some people can come straight into rapping saying they're writing raps, but I really think starting in poetry, and you notice that a lot of my shows, sometimes I do spoken word because that's where I started.
Yes.
Think about some of the greats. I mean, that's why Wale has an edge. When you hear some of his lyricism, you can tell he has a background with poetry. And that really, to me, gives an artistic edge. When I first started, like I said, I didn't have the ability to go and record, so I would just write little poems and things that were on my mind. Sometimes it didn't rhyme, sometimes it didn't make sense. But that's kind of how the roots started. So going back to those roots, this event, I want it to be a mix of, like, you know, visuals, kind of telling a story about me. I don't want it to just be a, you know, concert solo show, but I want people that don't know me or people that like this setting. You had no idea where Miss Talented came from.
Right.
I want to tell those stories. You know, I want to tell how we recently dropped the Miss, and now it's just Talented, and that's in honor of women's equality. Because a lot of times people hear Miss and they're like, oh, she's a female. Where if you see Talented, my song Radio. You don't know who it is before you push play. You have no opportunity to stereotype it at all, you know? So that's what I recently did and made it Talented. So just telling little stories like that is what I'm really after for the show.
I think that is awesome. Another thing about you, Tiffany, that I really enjoy is that you are a dancer. You do breakdancing.
Yes.
Okay, can you give us a move right here in your seat, like a little robot? This is my robot move. Like, this is my breakdance move.
Oh, man.
That's it.
So my robot.
Okay, you're making me look bad. That's good. You're making me look really super bad right now.
So yes, I'm more of a popper than a break dancer.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I could not remember. It's called popping.
Yeah.
That's when you do that.
I'm more of a popper.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I get popper.
Okay.
And I mean, of course, they've tried to take all kinds of names into dancing, but You know, if you're a dancer, you need to be in one more category. You know, they want to take popping into why wave, you know, I bot, but really, you know, all of it either comes down to if you break or you pop. You know?
Okay, and you also teach dance.
Yes.
Where do you teach dance?
Right now I teach at St. Albans Studio of Dance, which I teach there on Monday evening, 6:30 to 7:30. So it's 2 different age groups, and I teach on those days.
And what do you love about dancing? Teaching young people how to dance?
I love the ability of expression. Just the fact that you can. I'm a very I like to express myself. So I kind of fell into dance when words just didn't add up. You know, when there was words that
I do it again. That was beautiful. Say it again, please.
I fell into dance because, you know, when I write poetry and do music, sometimes words don't add up.
Give me some. Oh, that was so. Give me.
They don't speak for what, you know.
That was beautiful. Oh my God, that was good.
You know, that's how you portray things. You either portray things through words. You know, people have visuals, and you think about the senses. You know, you see, you feel, you hear. Attacking all those senses, you know, for people that can't hear me, they can see me dance. For people that can't, you know, see me, they can hear my music. So that's really what it comes down to.
So I have 2 more questions for you. The first question is what do you want to accomplish with your life? What is your biggest dream that you're going to make a reality? Because Tiffany, I've known you for some years, and every year you progress. Like every year and how old are you again?
25.
Yes, you're a baby. You're not a baby, but you know what I'm saying? You're a youngin' out here. So every year you get better and better and better. When you're 35, what do you want to accomplish? And then I want to know, what is your biggest dream that you want to accomplish?
What I want to accomplish is, I want to be a mogul, honestly. Like, I want to be, you know, someone who in 6 or 7 different areas, 6 or 7 different incomes. And at the end of the day, it's not really about being rich. I just want to be able to be happy.
What do you love about music? What do you love about it?
What I love about music is kind of how I go back to expressing yourself. Like, it's just like this platform of being creative. Like, I come up with some songs in my sleep, and I wake up and I'm like, that's a good song. Or everything around you is a song. You know, every experience is a song, you know? And to me, you live songs. You live creativity. Whether it's poetry, whether it's dance, it's around you. Music is around you. Sayings, artwork, it's all around you.
If you could give advice to a young person, what would you tell them?
Never stop. If I believed everything that everybody told me, I would not still be doing this at all. And I know that sounds so cliche because everybody that's headed up wants to say, believe in yourself and believe in, but it's really true. Like, it's really true. At the end of the day, motivate yourself. Get to a point where nobody can affect you. No's can't affect you. When one door closes, look for another one. It doesn't matter what happens, what kind of help you have, you can do it all alone. I've created a whole solo career. Solo. I'm in here by myself. They see me in here all the time. You don't need anybody. It's always good to have help, but don't let that help or somebody telling you no stop you.
That's exactly right. And one more time, please tell us when the Dopetry event is, what time, and what time and what they need to wear. Like, what's the whole, like, what do they need for this event?
Well, definitely come fly, come fresh to death, come as yourself. April 30th, 7 to 9. There is an event page on Facebook that you can look up. It says Dopetry featuring Talented. You know, we have a lot of media coming. There's media passes available. What's Real West Virginia will be in the building. Brandon Lowe Podcast, Oak Public Relations will be in the building. There's a lot of people that will be there. And we're working on getting some other groups out too. Okay, well, great. And you guys, this is Miss Talented. I'm sorry. This is Talented. Tiffany, there's no miss. I'm so sorry. This is Talented, Tiffany Finkton, and this is Tuesday Taylor. And please remember, my fellow West Virginians, that a coal does not have diamonds because, well, this young lady is the diamond. The diamond. And she's absolutely great. And this is what's real. And we're going to kick it off with a freestyle. What? Yeah, you start beatboxing. I'll try to freestyle. I can't beatbox, but I'll pretend. Go. Okay. This is Tuesday Tea and Talented Tea. Yeah, we getting it in the studio. Don't hate on us, cause we're girls on the go.
Yes, we got it going on, West Virginia style. So yes, we're fresh to death. Don't hate on us. I know you need a job too, cause that's what she said, but you best believe we are the best. Yes, I don't know how to beatbox.
Oh gosh, I think she did well. I think we can leave my freestyle out. She did well. She just killed it. Like, let's leave it